Imagine stepping into a world where nature feels wrong, where everything is bigger, more aggressive, and far more dangerous than anything alive today. Australia is already famous for its deadly animals: snakes, spiders, crocodiles, creatures that evolved in isolation for millions of years. But if you think modern Australia is dangerous, you should see what it was like 50,000 years ago. Back then, when the first humans arrived on the continent, they weren't explorers. They were survivors entering a land ruled by giants, because prehistoric Australia wasn't just wild. It was dominated by monsters. Today, crocodiles are ambush predators of rivers and swamps. They wait silently in the water, strike once, and disappear beneath the surface. But Quincana was different. That prehistoric crocodile evolved for life on land. It had longer legs, a more upright posture, and teeth shaped like serrated knives. Instead of lurking in murky rivers, it hunted across dry landscapes, forests, plains, riverbanks, and that changes everything. Because a land crocodile doesn't just wait for you, it can chase you. Growing up to 6 meters long, Quincana was built for pursuit and power. And for early humans with primitive tools, escaping one would have been nearly impossible. If Quincana wasn't terrifying enough, there was something even worse. A reptile so large it almost feels fictional. Megalania. The largest lizard to ever walk the earth. A distant relative of the Komodo dragon, but far larger and far more powerful. Estimates suggest it could reach over 6 meters in length, but size wasn't the only threat. Modern Komodo dragons use venom and bacteria to weaken their prey slowly, and many scientists believe Megalania may have used a similar strategy. Imagine being bitten and realizing the real danger hadn't even started yet. Even a non-fatal bite could become a death sentence. Slow, inevitable, unavoidable. In a prehistoric world with no medicine and no escape, Megalania wasn't just a predator. It was a nightmare. Not all predators relied on speed or venom. Some relied on patience. Wanambi was a massive prehistoric snake that could grow over 6 meters long. But unlike many modern Australian snakes, it wasn't venomous. It didn't need to be. Wanambi was a constrictor, a hunter that killed with pressure instead of poison. It likely waited near water sources where animals gathered to drink. Still, silent, invisible. And then it struck, wrapping its body around its prey, tightening with every breath, until the lungs could no longer expand. No roar, no chase, no warning. Just silence. But perhaps the most fascinating predator wasn't a reptile at all. It was a mammal. Thylacoleo, known as the marsupial lion, was unlike anything alive today. At first glance, it didn't look terrifying. It wasn't massive. It didn't have long fangs. But looks were deceiving. Because Thylacoleo had one of the strongest bite forces relative to body size of any mammal ever discovered. Its teeth were shaped like slicing blades, designed not for crushing bones, but for cutting flesh cleanly. And its body was built for ambush: retractable claws, strong forelimbs, flexible joints. Some scientists believe it could climb trees and attack from above, much like modern leopards, which means danger didn't just come from the ground. It could be waiting in the branches overhead. But not everything in prehistoric Australia was a hunter. Some creatures were giants of a different kind. Diprotodon was the largest marsupial to ever exist. Weighing up to 4 tons, it was roughly the size of a small car. It looked like an enormous wombat with a heavy body built for slow movement. a peaceful giant feeding across vast prehistoric landscapes, but creatures that large shape entire ecosystems. They change vegetation, they reshape migration, and where giants walk, predators follow. Taken together, these animals paint a terrifying picture. Land crocodiles that could chase you, giant lizards with deadly bites, silent snakes near the water, ambush predators hiding in the trees. This wasn't just another wilderness. It was one of the most dangerous environments humans had ever entered. And yet, we survived it. Early humans crossed unknown lands, faced impossible odds, and adapted to a world that should have been unconquerable. Which raises a haunting question. If you were suddenly transported back 50,000 years, with no weapons, no cities, and no way home, would you survive prehistoric Australia? Or would you become part of its food chain?